day. Hope that everybody's doing all right out there. I got my internet up, got things rolling, got things going, ready to go. I'll have to be honest with you guys. I uh, I was a little bit reluctant to go live again. I know it's not the biggest thing. I know that this is not the fragrance community is not extremely integrated. I know that not everybody knows each other and not everybody keeps tabs with each other. And I know that I am certainly not the biggest fragrance reviewer and fragrance content creator in the game. I know that. That's certainly not the case. But the thing is, I was a little bit bothered. There's somebody right now doing a live, right now doing another live, and I do get on at 6 or so. And again, I was ready to go at 6 p.m., and I saw somebody else was doing a live. So again, I don't try to bring negative energy into the fragrance space. That's not my thing. But when something needs to be addressed, I think it's important. Hey there, Gam. So good to see you today. What's your scent of the day? Of course, we'll get in here. We'll talk about fragrance and all kinds of things. And I do have a topic to talk about, which is not really this I wanted to bring up. But again, I don't know if I should keep it as a chip on my shoulder, but I will keep an eye out. I'm gonna keep one eye open. This is the second time but maybe it's just people think that, somebody else started doing lives at 6 p.m. and they started to think that they wanted to do it. And the fragrance community I mean, yeah, Jeremy Fragrance and some of these people have, hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million followers, but the fragrance space is kind of small, and some of these people I'm pretty sure know who I am. I don't know why you would start, they've never done lives at 6 p.m. and I was about the only one who did it on Saturdays. Why would you start a live? There's this is the second person who's done this on me. So I don't know. Not very happy about that. Anyways, so I pumped myself up on some music. I got my vibes going, and we're ready to go. How you doing? How's your family doing? We're all doing good over here. We're all doing pretty all right. Of course, I do have I don't want to get too personal, but on my dad's side of the family, he's having some health complications. He's had that for a while, and he got I won't get into it. I don't know what you can and cannot say, but he got the old shot, but with what's going on in the world, and he had complications with that. Don't know if it's directly caused anything or not, but certainly, we worry about him. And you care about your family, but besides that, everybody's in pretty good health and pretty healthy. My family and everything. We keep ourselves pretty strong. So yeah, and I definitely keep myself healthy. Had some more ginger cookies today, so I don't know, ginger and spice and everything nice. Anyways, okay. Ready to talk about fragrances? I hope that y'all are doing okay. I hope that y'all been liking my content. I've been trying to keep a balance again of everything from designer to niche, and I've been trying to keep things interesting based on how I feel with the tempo and the fragrance community and where I want to go with my channel. I mean, there's a lot of things to always consider, but I've been trying to keep things based on seasonality. I know that not many people care about that, but I think about that. And when you're looking forward to buy a fragrance, you probably want to wear it just like, the majority of people, when they go to buy clothes, they go buy summer clothes or whatever it is. You go buy a swimsuit because you want to wear the swimsuit. And with fragrances, of course, you don't have to limit yourself, but some things sometimes do work better in some occasions and environments. So hope that y'all been enjoying that. I do have a bunch of fresh green crisp fragrances on your way or on the way, and a whole bunch of beautiful content. Also, I put some extra money into my I guess my setup. Hopefully y'all have liked that. I don't know if you've noticed in a couple of my videos. Again, I have some that I still have to put out there a little bit are older videos, but even right now, this is a different setup that I have indoors. Hopefully it looks better. I got some lighting and I got it all set up, and hopefully it makes an improvement. It makes things look, looks makes myself more presentable and all that good stuff. So, anyways, how was your week? Anything y'all want to share? Any new fragrances that you bought? I've been putting out my unboxings and a bunch of my new fragrances out on Instagram. Y'all can check that out. But I got Wanted by Czar, Wanted by Night. I got Green Lover, Lolita Lempica. I'll be getting a review out of that for y'all. Um, I don't know if y'all saw that review of Bulgari Glacial Essence. Yes, that's what it was called. And what are some other fragrances that I got my hands on? Borrowing some Roja fragrances to share with y'all. It's been pretty fun actually exploring the House of Roja and getting more of a grasp. And I think not everybody has looked into the House of Roja, and I know that they're terribly expensive, but they actually have quite a few releases. A lot of people think about, a couple of their more popular fragrances. They actually have like, I don't know, like 20 fragrances that are available. So there's a lot to explore. So, anyways, anyways, how y'all been doing? Anything new? Y'all gotta let me know. Anyways, any new fragrances? Anything you've been keeping your eye out on? Again, on my Instagram, I put out recently kind of a some niche fragrances that are already getting really popular, and they're about to get a whole lot more popular. One of them is Triumph of Bacchus from the House of Argos. That fragrance was already hyped when it first came out. It was already hit the scene and got popular, got the kudos, got the nod of approval from the people who are the early adapters. That term is more with technology. Anyways, the people who are really deep into and will blind buy fragrances and try things really really fast. And now the people are starting to catch on. And Argos, the fragrance called Triumph of Bacchus, I think that one's really going to get hot. So, anyways, so I'm excited to see how popular that fragrance is going to get. I'm not sure how popular the new Amouage fragrances releases. There's the new Meander and the Enclave, and I'm excited to see if those get terribly popular. I thought Meander was pretty good. I'm not blown away. I like more of the interesting, unique, daring side of Amouage. Y'all know that. But there's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of good fragrances to try. That is for certain. So, what are some other fragrances that might become popular in the future? I talked about a few of them. Electimus. It's kind of be a little bit more expensive. I mean, there's Creed fragrances that have gotten they're terribly expensive that have become really popular before. So, Electimus has one called what's it called? Amber Aquiloria, a beautiful boozy rose and amber fragrance, gorgeous, addictive, all that good stuff. It'll blow you away. Um, so what are some other fragrances? I don't know. I'm excited to see which ones are going to become popular. Or do y'all think this year's going to have a bunch of good releases? Have y'all tried the new Amber? Not Amber. The Stronger with You. And absolutely, I need to try that one. I'm excited. I'm excited to try it. Have y'all tried that one yet? That's one I'm gonna keep on my radar. Again, there's a new spice bomb that's been announced. That's supposed to be like a red, energetic, spicy version. Excited for that. Supposedly there's a new Xerjoff that's supposed to be based on orange and supposed to be very clean. I think it's new. I think it is. It's called Decus, and it's kind of like a tribute to the brand because I don't know. I think it's an anniversary fragrance from Xerjoff. So there's some fun stuff coming out. Do y'all like the House of Dusita? I honestly haven't explored or tried too many of them. And the ones that I have tried, I think Dusita is a very good brand and their fragrances are very finely crafted. I just feel like, of course, all fragrances are unisex and all people can wear anything. But with Dusita, I do personally, this is my humble opinion. I feel like a lot they lean slightly feminine, not overtly. A lot of guys these days will feel comfortable. I haven't found one that I'm personally comfortable with. But I'm saying that also in conjunction with that's a funny way to say it, but they have a new fragrance coming out anyways called Erwan. Erwan? I'm not sure how you're supposed to say it, and it looks like something I might be interested in. Let me look up the notes here. Do you have any questions? Please jump in here and please jump in the conversation, guys. That's what this is all about. A weekly, we catch up with each other. What fragrances we wore throughout the week? What fragrances look good and new? Any fragrance conversation, and we will get on a big topic here. I do have something in mind to talk about, but we're just hashing it out and having a little fun here. So. Anyway, supposedly this is it nominated or did it win a Fifi award? I think Irwin received its first. Oh, it did. It actually got a Fifi award for 2018. Okay, so this I haven't seen this one. Irwan, so lighter tone. I'm trying to see what it's all about. What the notes are. I need to Okay, herbal notes, Paraguayan petitgrain, hay. I like hay. It has sage, lily of the valley. Could be soapy. That's more of a white floral lily of the valley. There's vetiver, liatrice, and I will look that up. Liatrice, I don't know what that is. It's always fun to see new notes and fragrances. There's vanilla absolute, oak moss, and cedar. So, kind of like a modern pseudo or modern take on a fougere. Let's see here. Paste and go. Any questions? No, no question. Okay. Leatrice is a let's see North American plant called the Blazing Star. I don't know what it smells like. It's a very funny looking plant. Looks like almost like a cousin to lavender. Um, Called Blazing Star, Dense Star. Trying to look up the smell. This is fun though. It's fun to look up something new. Okay, I'm gonna have to search for the smell of it. Do y'all ever look up weird things in fragrances and look up the smell, what it's supposed to smell like? I certainly do. So we're learning with each other. Have y'all ever heard liatris? A liatris, the flower may not offer the gardener any fragrance. It says. Hmm. It says they look like lavender. I don't know. So they must get some kind of smell out of it some way. Maybe it's out of the leaves, the oil from the leaves, or maybe an oil from the roots. But they say that the flower doesn't have much of any smell. That's interesting. Anyways, let's get back to fragrances, or some other fragrances, some new releases. My friends, how's life been treating you? What's good? What's new? What's popping? Do y'all want to jump on that topic? I certainly can. Anyways, did y'all like my review of H24? So some people are asked. I find it really funny because when I pin or kind of create terms that I think are very important and I think significant, I think it's kind of funny that you see that you kind of have an influence in the fragrance world. Fragrantica has an article right here, and they're asking, is H24 a possible modern classic? Those are the kinds of questions I ask. Those are the kinds of things I say. And I don't want to take all the credit in the world, and I definitely don't want to try to be prideful. But I might be a small guy, I might not have the most subscribers, but I feel like I'm making some kind of impact. Maybe that's what I like to think. I don't know. You tell me. So, anyways, let's see here. Any new fragrances y'all excited about? There's a bunch of new Xerjoffs. Have y'all seen that? There's two of them. There's one called Hypnotica and Nero 70. Have y'all looked at these at all? Do they look good for you? I'm excited about them, at least to try them. Xerjoff makes high quality fragrances. They might be a little bit expensive, but they're certainly worth trying. You might find one that you like, and that's what really matters. If you like the fragrance, you wear it. You like it. So this one is supposed to have notes of peach and quince and tuberose, orange blossom, jasmine, patchouli, musk, and vanilla. So it seems pretty fruity and fresh. If you don't know what quince is, it's kind of like an apple, something in between an apple and a pear. Yes, I've seen them. Yes, I know what they're like, but and it's then it becomes kind of clean, and this fragrance looks like it's going to be nice, but maybe more on the feminine side. We'll have to smell it. We'll have to give it a chance and see what it's all about. Let's see what's that Nero 70 all about. Let's look at the notes on that one. Any questions for me, guys? I see 5 people are here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Centaur Fragrance. If you're here, first times, definitely say hello. And if you've been here for a while, you know what's going on right now. We're just hanging out, chatting about our week, talking about, fragrances and seeing, what's new out there and any conversations, anything we want to talk about, we just do it here. That's what this is all about. Anyways, Nero 70 is again a new fragrance from Xerjoff. It has supposed to have notes of Calabrian bergamot, Sicilian citruses, lavender, neroli, amber, musk, bourbon, vanilla. So it looks nice. We'll have to see what kind of quality comes out of the fragrance and how it's blended. But those notes are pretty common, but they could still make a beautiful fragrance out of that. It doesn't look like it'll be terribly interesting, but who knows? It could be very beautiful and very wearable. That's something to keep an eye out on. It looks like it could be good. It could really be nice. So, any other fragrances? Anything else that's looking good for you? Anything that's caught your eye? Anything that you've tried recently? Anything that you would recommend to me? I would love that. So, anyways, a Eudora is a. I haven't tried any of those fragrances. The bottles look really nice. Have you heard of this brand called La Victorie? Intense, and the brand again is called Eudora. I have not heard anybody talk about this fragrance house or these fragrances, and the cap looks like it's plastic with gold flakes in it, or maybe it's glass with gold flakes. I really don't know, but fragrance looks nice, kind of like a spicy Oriental fragrance. It has patchouli and marshmallow and vanillas and musks and orange blossom and all kinds of stuff. And norlimdenol. They actually put that ingredient and they list it. So that looks nice. I don't know if I could wear it, but it looks good. Thoughts on Givenchy Gentleman only? Givenchy Gentleman and that line is a good line. It's very safe. It's very inoffensive. It's easy to wear. I wish the performance was better, but it's not a bad line at all. You certainly can enjoy it. You know, there's people who kind of put down on it, but they certainly do smell good. They're more end up personal fragrances. Certainly good for the office. Certainly a little bit professional. I think the lavender is very easy to wear. I don't think you need to be afraid of the lavender in those fragrances at all. But and they're not again, young guys can even wear them. Again, the performance isn't maybe what they should be, but they're not they're pretty good still. I'd recommend if you have the chance, if you look at the notes, if it looks interesting to you, try Givenchy Zurius Rouge. And again, it's probably discontinued. Who knows when the supply will dry up? But Givenchy Zurius Rouge is certainly one of the better designer fragrances that I've ever come across. And again, it's pretty highly underrated, but it's a fantastic fragrance. Really give it a chance. So, what are some other fragrances? There's a new Lalique coming out. It's called Lalique White and Black. Some of y'all might be excited about that because for some reason it's interesting to see some people gravitate towards certain fragrances and focus on those of certain, even if some of them are about the same price or available about the same. I really like the Lalique Pour Homme, the original, the lion head, and that's the one I talked about. And it's still out there for a crazy value and a deal, but a lot of people like the Lalique White, and this is kind of a flanker of the white. So maybe Lalique White did sell really, really well, and they made a flanker for you wonderful people. So had Rouge since 2015 is interesting, not really wearable to me. Well, more power to you, my friend. I'm sorry that you can't. It's not wearable to you. We're certainly all unique, different people, and that's why I say wear what you love and find the fragrances that you like. I'm sorry that you didn't personally like it, but I find it very, very wearable. It's kind of fancy. Where I live, people don't wear fragrances very much, and Givenchy Zurius Rouge might not even be the fanciest fragrance to a lot of people out there. But when I wear that fragrance, it's making a statement, and people think that you're walking around pretty, if you know what I mean. So it's I really like that Zurius Rouge. If you don't want it, maybe you can send it to me. Ronald Japinga says evening scent of the day. Oh Extreme. Oh yeah, that's Allure Homme Sport Oh Extreme. That one works. Definitely a compliment getter. Really nice fragrance there. Hey Ben, what's up? You tried Diptyque? I've tried a few of them. I need to explore the house more. Tam Dao and Tempo are the ones that catch my eye the most. I've really been wanting to try those fragrances for quite a while, and honestly, I just have never gotten my hand on the samples of them. But from what I hear most people say good things about Diptyque. I hear fairly positive things about them, so they're certainly worth giving a try. Whitney Job says, "Ever heard of the House of Moresque? Looks interesting. I have not tried the House of Moresque. Maybe I'll be able to look them and Google them up in a second. Again, I'm trying to get Lalique White and Black to pull up. My internet is terribly slow, and we'll get to talk about that here in a second. And then maybe we'll be able to Google Moresque and see how that's going. So, anyways, oh, and actually, my internet's so slow it just gave me an error, like we can't find the website. That's really funny. That when it tells you the website doesn't exist pretty much. So, anyways, any other questions? How did you find Moresque? How did you hear about them? That's always curious when people find new brands. Sometimes people ask me that question. They're like, "How did you find this weird indie brand or such and such fragrance?" A lot of the times I just keep an eye out and I'm always paying attention. Sometimes I Google random brands and companies. Like I found that company called Dead Cool, and nobody ever talked about them. I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about them really since. So it's quite the world's a funny place. So I don't know if the internet wants to work for me at all. So ever hear of the house? Read that. Come on, I'm looking for a fragrance line. Yeah, Whitney. Oh, it's a fragrance house. Okay, so it's not one fragrance. I see what you're saying. I'll have to look them up. I'm trying to get this internet to load. So, great question though, Whitney. I do appreciate you asking. I do appreciate that. And what fragrances have y'all been buying recently, or what looks good to you? What might you purchase? Have y'all looked at the House of Kerosene? Again, I'm not sponsored or affiliated with any of these people, but again, Kerosene's really, really nice. There's Unknown Pleasures. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. In the past, I think I always said unspoken pleasures. I think it's unknown. But anyways, that's a beautiful fragrance, like a creamy, sweet kind of lemon, kind of fragrance, lemon and vanilla. Anyway, this Lalique White and Black, this new version of it, looks nice. The note, oh, okay. Sicilian bergamot, grapefruit, olibanum. So there's some incense. This one has more spice. It has cardamom, pink pepper, elemi, lavender, white cedar. It looks really nice. Patchouli, tolu, and broxin and vanilla. Sounds like it's going to be a little bit more modern, a little bit deep, a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy, but still fresh, still really nice. So that looks nice. I'm curious to see if this fragrance is going to have any resemblance to Acqua di Gio Profumo. Going for a darker black bottle, and that it's got that Ambroxan, and they threw in some patchouli, and so that again, I said Ambroxan twice I think now, and I think it might have a tiny bit of resemblance. Again, I'm not accusing Lalique of being a clone house, but when there's a trend, or when there's an extremely popular fragrance and they know that there's money to be had, some of these brands will jump on the bandwagon just a little bit. So let's see here, Moresque. Let me type that in, Moresque fragrances, and we'll see if we can't find anything. So, see here. Catch it with the comments. Oh, looking at Robert Piguet fragrances. I've heard good things about that house and that brand. I honestly don't remember. I don't think I've really smelled those fragrances or tried them. But give them a go. It's another one of those houses that, at least for me, I'm reluctant to blind buy because I don't know much about the fragrance house or where they come from, or I don't know. For some reason, I just don't feel secure about blind buying them. And I'm sure that they're pretty good, but in the back of my head, they sound like a risky blind buy, at least for me. But I don't know. Maybe somebody here has tried those fragrances and they can tell us what they think about the Robert Piguet fragrances. Whitney says no decant site called Fragrance Line. Oh, they have a. Y'all are, jumping get my mind to jump around everywhere. I feel like okay, I know what you're saying now. So maybe get a decant. Yeah, try them on Fragrance Line. When if I buy samples, I get from the Fragrance Decant Boutique a lot of the times, or myfragrancesamples.com. Those both of them have pretty good shipping and they're good people, and their prices are pretty fair. So that's where I go, but maybe I'll try Fragrance Line. Ronald Japinga says, I'm looking at low-way fragrances, the 001 Man in particular. I don't know much about that one. I know there's that what's it called? It's not Essenza. It's like it's not Escada. It has a funny name like that. It's like I'll have to. It comes in like a green bottle. Some of you all have. There's almost like a small cult following behind that fragrance, and they seem to really like it. And it's been recommended to me before. And Loway seems like a good house. Again, somebody must be buying them out there because they have quite a few fragrances, and they're still releasing more and more fragrances. I did review the original Loway. What is it even called? It's been a little while. I'll have to look it up. So, anyways, oh, that presentations on those Moresque fragrances look beautiful. They look like they're almost like an apple, like a candied apple. Instead of dipped in caramel, they're kind of like dipped in gold. And the first one that popped up and they wanted to show me was one called Seta. So that looks nice. I'll have to keep an eye out. Beautiful presentations, though. That's for sure. Thanks for bringing those up, Whitney. Anyways, Robert Piguet. Okay, read that. Low fragrance. It was called Solo, and honestly, I didn't even look it up. My mind finally gave me the answer. Solo by Low. I talked about the original one. It's a guava cedar fragrance. I reviewed, or at least I know I talked about it. It's been so long. I don't even know if I reviewed it, but I did have a decant. I wished it lasted longer, and I did feel like I don't know. I wanted there to be more movement in the fragrance. Not that the fragrance was overtly linear. I don't know. The blending was decent. I just thought there should be another element or movement or something in the fragrance, but it was decent. I know some people consider the Solo Laway a real hidden gem, and some people really like the house because not everybody knows about it, and the prices are pretty decent, and they're not bad fragrances. Some people are going to like them out there, but I've never really hyped up the house. So, by the way, I keep seeing you winning fragrances on Saint Laurent. Can you stop winning? Did I win another fragrance? I need to keep an eye out. I won one fragrance. I won a Boudoir, but I didn't know that I won again. I won a very long time ago. That was almost 2 years ago, and I will get a review out of that fragrance. That Boudoir fragrance. It's inspired by the Amazon rainforest. Actually, I made my review already, and maybe I'll get that to y'all out next week. I'm excited to share that with y'all. A fresh kind of a musky fragrance inspired by the Amazon rainforest. I mean, that's a really nice spring, and they're kind of like affordable niche, and I think they're good quality for the money. Bourdois is really nice, and some people think it's kind of smoky, but I have to tell y'all, for a vanilla amber combo, again, I bought that Oudwa vanilla out of my own pocket, and I'm in love with it. There were two in the last month. Well, if I won the other one, it might be spilled perfume. I might not have gotten to it fast enough. If tell Remind me if it was recent, maybe I can go and message and double check. I always try to keep an eye out, but Saffler Bond. If you don't know what they are, they're a blog website, and you have to respond within like 18 hours or 16 hours if you won to the giveaway post, and if you don't, then you lose what you lose that you won. And there's so many posts on the site, and you don't get really any. There's no way to get email notifications if you won or not, and it's sad if you miss your fragrance. So, but there's people all the time that miss. They won the fragrance, but they missed out and they lost it. So. Edges Dragon, good to see you pop in here. Oh, Whitney says, sent to the nice Amber Alkalori. Oh, you're wearing that one. I just talked about that one today from the House of Electimus. Beautiful fragrance. Certainly do worth. I think that it might become more popular. It certainly is a very classy, beautiful fragrance for the price. There are more unique niche fragrances that are more complex or strange, or maybe have more complexity to them. But the quality and the wearability of Ember Aqualoria is absolutely stunning, and it's a gorgeous fragrance. So. Let me see here. Edges Dragon says first day of spring. It is, and I got some spring cleaning done. I actually mopped my bathroom today. I haven't done that in a while, and if you haven't mopped your bathroom, it might make a big difference. And again, I'm trying to go all natural or healthy. So after you've mopped a bit, and when you're going to finish up, if hopefully you have some essential oils in your house, and maybe put down some orange or something a little bit affordable. I wouldn't put down an exotic or unusual essential oil, but on your bathroom floor. But maybe some lavender. Who knows? Maybe some orange, depending on what you got and what you like. So that's definitely will freshen things up. So that's what I did today, and I got away from those crazy cleaners and chemicals. So, anyways, first day of spring. You're looking forward to any spring fragrances? Well, recently I got that Bourdois, and I really like trying that. I got Green Lover, which I have that review. I've already made it. I just haven't gotten it out for y'all. The Green Lover's from Lolita Limpica. Thank y'all for recommending that to me. It's actually quite a nice fragrance, especially for a designer fragrance. And what are some other fragrances? I need to get my nose on some more citruses. I feel like I want another citrus. I don't know if I need one, but certainly like them. What are some most of the fragrances I really want to try usually usually are a little bit more deeper and complex, but I don't know. I I'm hard to please. I'm overtly picky with citrus. It has to be absolutely stunning for a citrus to, especially if it's a niche fragrance, for me to be interested. A lot of people, if it smells kind of good and it's a citrus, they're just happy with it. To me, if it's a really expensive fragrance and it's a citrus, it better last a decent amount of time, even pretty good for a citrus, and it's got to blow me away because there's plenty of good, affordable designer citruses all the time, and I don't know. That's one reason I'm always keep an eye out for Xerjoff because I know they have the capability of doing it. Do they always do it? Not really, but do they have the potential? Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. But great questions. Thank you for asking. Any winter fragrances you don't want to say goodbye for? Yeah, I'm gonna be reluctant. I still I find it kind of adventurous and daring, and my Black Hashish is a fragrance by Art Olfacto that I want to get more wearings out of. It's kind of similar to Black Afghano, but I really prefer it even more than that fragrance. I know that's heresy to some people, but I really like that one. I didn't get to. I should have worn My what was it called? Oud Amber Oud, the tobacco edition from Al Haramain. It smells a little bit like Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, but maybe even stronger. It's bold, it's very spicy, and I really like it. So, anyways, great questions there, Edges Dragon. Great questions. Thank you for asking, and hopefully it gives you some answers. Super Fat Bass says, "Yeah, Tempo. I'm going for a sample. What about Baruti? Which one was called? They have one called Perverso Dutch House. Yes, actually, I don't know. Do I have the sample set here? I don't know. Where did I put that? I have it. It's not right here. It was over here. I have it set over there somewhere. Anyways, I do have those samples, and I don't think I've reviewed any of them yet. But I have given some written reviews on Instagram and already talked about most of the fragrances. Um, Perverso is very unique. If you're, I don't want to spoil my reviews. I want to save everything, but I know that you want me to tell you, and I want to help you out. So definitely get a Discovery set. The house is, I don't find them very daring, but again, I can take challenging fragrances. So for some people, or most people, they might be slightly on the challenging side. They're not extremely challenging by any means, but the house of Baruti has quite a few nice fragrances. But Perverso is the fragrance that everybody's looking at. And if you think that you're going to get a rich, deep, overtly sweet, decadent fragrance, that's not what Perverso is. Perverso means perverted. And I should have known, and I had the idea in the back of my head, but I kept ignoring it because I bought into the hype and everybody was excited. Oh, it's a chocolate fragrance. Oh, it's going to be decadent and rich and sweet. It's actually an animalic, musky fragrance with a rich chocolate and those gourmand elements more in the background. So it's not a chocolate fragrance on the top, and that's mostly what it is in the heart. It's actually flipped on its head for most people. Most of the fragrance is an animalic musk. It's actually quite strong, and it has a big personality to it. And it's quite interesting if you're a musk lover, and if you like the idea of a musky fragrance that's big and bold and in charge with chocolate on the edges and on the outside of it. It might be something you're interested in. I don't know when I would wear that fragrance. If I would be, it's because it has the kind of smell where you would want it almost to be a personal fragrance for when you're going to be very close to somebody, like a very seductive or tantalizing fragrance. But it's very loud. It's actually a very strong fragrance, and I don't know. Maybe I just don't have the personality for it to go out. That fragrance, if you go wear that fragrance outdoors and you're going to a party scene, I don't know what kind of person you are, but you got to have a lot of confidence and you got to know what you're doing. I don't know who that person would be, but it's a strong fragrance. It's funny enough. I usually don't go for florals, but actually their Ligden, I forget how you say it. It's their flower fragrance. It's their floral. That's actually my favorite one, and I actually highly recommend y'all get your nose on it. It's one of the best florals I personally have ever tried, and that's from Baruti. Anyways, let's jump to some other another topic and some comments and all that. But they are a fun house to try. I did buy mine from Abaton. They didn't send it to me, and Abaton. I think they had a discovery set for what was it, 25? It might be 35. I forget, but I think it was 25 odd dollars. And I don't know if they have that special deal up anymore. At one point, if you spent like 50 odd dollars, you could get like free shipping. So all you had to do was buy like Baruti, that discovery set, and another discovery set, and you get the free shipping. So when is the soap brand launch? I'm working on it right now. I know that I've been telling y'all and tempting y'all with that. I need to do it. Honestly, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist and I want everything to be perfect. And I've been buying more and more ingredients that are kind of rare or unusual, but I know I need to come out with some, more approachable, and I don't need to be so over the top with, unusual ingredients or specialty ingredients. And but I want the packaging to be special. I wish I had like a specialty molds or something. Maybe in the future, if my brand becomes successful enough, we'll get to the point where I can have some specialty molds and we'll be able to improve the look and everything. But I wish that I had $5,000-$10,000 to sink into this, but we'll have to go it old school. We'll have to bootstrap it, like they say. And thank you for asking. That's definitely something I'm going to do. And again, I talked about being a perfumer, and y'all still might want me to. I am going to be one. But that's just going to happen in the future because you have to have a lot of money. If you want to make a serious launch and you want to have your own, actual glass, custom made order bottles, and make a serious launch where you produce a couple hundred bottles, and maybe 1,000 bottles if you can when you first launch. You have to put up like 10,000 bucks plus, and that's an awful lot of money. So I got to start with the soap, and that's also a way of blending and helping me get familiar with ingredients, and also gives me a little bit of time to play and learn about natural ingredients. So I don't know, it feels like a natural progression to me. And a lot of, if you don't know, like florists and a number of companies actually started with being either apothecaries or natural medicine or soap makers, and eventually they did become perfumers because they already had those essential oils and they knew how to blend them, and they would use them, for health reasons already, or they already had them around. So let's see. But thank you for asking, Whitney. I'm working on it, and hopefully I'll get that out the door really soon. Randy says, "Scent of the Day, New York Intense." Is that the one by? I think it's Fragrance Du Bois has one that has a really similar name that came out recently. Some people say they really like it. I don't know. I don't know if it works for me. Some people seem to really like it though. The New York Intense that's by the House of Parfums de Nicolai is amazing though. Actually, I think it's pretty much a darn masterpiece. And again, I don't like to accuse certain brands of copying each other because I don't know their full stories or who did what or who and all the details behind everything. But it looks like Fragrance Du Bois might have copied Parfums de Nicolai, because Parfums de Nicolai for a while has New York Intense. It's been one of their best sellers, and a lot number of people, including myself, have pretty much said it's a masterpiece. So I don't know. I don't know if Fragrance Du Bois took a little piece of that. So Whitney says, "Great citrus, Mansara, Sicily, and it lasts." Absolutely, it does. It's certainly, if not the most complex fragrance, but again, not every fragrance needs to be. If you like a mass appealing citrus fragrance and it lasts, you're absolutely right, Whitney. Sicily's quite nice, really nice fragrance, and Sicily's kind of forgotten about in the world of Mansara. Everybody wants the red tobacco, which is a great fragrance. I really like the Oud Vanille. I don't know. Maybe I'll get the Sicily sometime. I've been keeping an eye out. Maybe I'll have to wait for a new release, but I know that a bunch of them are nice, but I guess I'm too picky. Oud Vanille is the one that has really interested me from the House of Mansara, but I want to get another one. I'd like to. I had Amber Fever. I had to let it go. It's a fine fragrance. I personally would prefer it more on a lady, personally, but it's unisex. A guy could easily wear it. So, cheers. I knew I'd heard of the house as probably from your Insta. Oh, it's super fat bass. No problem at all. Um, it might have been because I did talk about the house. I really did, and I presented and everything. But again, on YouTube, it's a funny place. I put out a video every single day. I dedicated pretty much my life to it, almost like a full-time job. And maybe I could continue that, or I would keep that kind of dedication and that work up if I had the kind of viewership to maybe give me a very small living or something. But I can't, I couldn't keep it up. And honestly, with the pacing of things, people seem to like my channel or like things more when I put out 3 videos a week, and that seems to be more entertaining or give people enough of a balance of what they want. So I would like to put out a video every day if I could, if everybody would like it. But 3 a week seems fine. Let me know if you want more or less, but that seems to be what everybody wants. Let's see here. Okay. Scent of the Day, Beach Hut Man. Beach Hut Man's nice. It's some people don't get the idea of it. I can see kind of where they're going for, more of kind of like a sandy kind of vibe to it, but it doesn't really smell like, people think beach, and then they forget the beach hut and the man part of it. It's supposed to smell more like a man in a beach hut, made out of like a really really light wood and fabric, and it's not supposed to smell like tropical or overtly like the ocean. It's just supposed to smell like a sandy man on the beach, and it's hot and it's humid, and like plants, and somebody makes a a beach hut, out of random vegetation. You know how it's all like yellow and colored and like golden looking. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And that's what it's supposed to smell like. So it's kind of funny. Some people they focus on the beach part, and I guess they thought it'd be some kind of fun tropical fragrance, but it smells a little bit more. I don't know. It's more of a feeling kind of fragrance. It puts you in that environment. If you've ever been on the beach and you're just walking on the beach and it's really hot and humid and sandy, and maybe you're far, maybe it's a really big beach and you're not getting in the water, you're staying away from the water. It's a funny thing, but I can see what they did. Cess Pose, good to see you pop in here, my friend. Scent of the day is Chypropolitan. Yo, you came out with a big one, a big heavy hitter fragrance. That's a, you know, people don't talk about it as much anymore, but that was a big hitter, and people used to speak really highly about that one. It's still a very well made, excellent fragrance. Chypropolitan, absolutely. If you like Chypres, oh man, you got to try it. Do you have any unique summer niche recommendations? Unique summer niche. Zafiro is certainly one. I do feel like it's a little bit sweet, so you might have to be careful. But Zafiro by Zerzhov is one I've recently been speaking really, really highly of. It's a little bit of a Chypre, and it's mass appealing, but it has citrus, and it might have a tiny bit of powdery element to it. But it's a gorgeous fragrance. It's certainly one of Zerzhov's best. I do honestly put it up there with their best of the best, including Naxos. It's up there. It's just as good. And I don't know how that one flew under the radar, but it did, and everybody kind of avoided it. Zafiro is amazing, and it deserves to be hyped. It deserves to have the love, and hope it hits the charts. I hope it flies high. I hope it hits the sky. So get your nose on that one as a unique summer fragrance. I don't know of too many summer fragrances that are super uber, overtly unique, but one that could be worn that is more on the daring side. This one's going to be a little bit strange. It's not going to be for everybody, but it's called Lost in Heaven from Francesca Bianchi. It was one of my favorites with the dark side from that house, and she makes beautiful fragrances. They're again more for I guess, the connoisseur, somebody who's deeper into niche fragrances. But Lost in Heaven was quite impressive in my book. If you're a crazy wild soul, maybe you could wear Perverso, which we joked about by Baruti, but I would say that's more of a summer night fragrance. Maybe you're just a madman or a madwoman and you want to wear that in the summer. I wish I had a spy cam and I could watch the reactions of people around you. I want to watch one of you suckers walk around the street and people who say bundle spray. The people who are recently saying that you're a sissy sprayer if you don't put on 10 or 20 sprays, those people. I want to see them walk down the street wearing 10 or 20 sprays of Baruti's Perverso in the middle of the summer down a big city, in a big city street with a bunch of people and just see people run away. Oh, that would be hilarious. That'd be hilarious. But y'all got me on a funny topic. I'm sorry. Anyways, strange. There's not a lot of strange summer fragrances. There are a few of them that manage to mix in a little bit of patchouli or a little bit of spices that really shouldn't be there. You might find one from Boise 1920. Like you could maybe get away with really patchouli. I love that fragrance. I actually bought it. You could get away with it if you put it on really lightly and it has some licorice to it. It's like more of a patchouli fragrance. Amber Del Sur has some vanilla to it, but you could get away with that fragrance in the summer if you applied it really light, but that would be quite unusual. And again, that's from Carner Barcelona. Amber Del Sur, fantastic fragrance, highly underrated, a little bit more unique, not terribly strange, but definitely challenging to some. So those are about the only ones that come up to my mind. I know that there's some of them that are, I guess, unusual to some people. There are some fougères that are going to be more unusual to people you could get away with in the summer, or some chypres. I love my what was it called? Oud Velvet Desert Oud by the House of Dolce Gabbana, their private line. Y'all know how much I love that fragrance, and that one certainly would be unique. But that one is kind of a really wearable fragrance. To me, it's not terribly different, but if you were to wear it in the summer, it would stand out because it's not a typical summer freshie at all. So. A quality fragrance highly recommends Mansara Pearl. Honestly, I have not tried that one yet. A quality fragrance definitely has a good nose. He's a cool guy. He's got things going on, and I'll have to keep an eye out see if I can get a sample or something. But I bet it's nice. We can look up the notes here. Mansara Pearl. I honestly, you know, I've looked up most of the Mansaras, but again, when I try some of these fragrances, I have to blind buy them, and I guess I take that risk upon myself so y'all don't have to. So maybe you don't have to actually blind buy them. So I don't know if my internet wants to work with me at all. It's being very problematic at the moment. So Let's see here. What's up, bro? Hey there, bow tie fragrance guy. What's popping? What's going? How things go? I mean, how's life treating you, my friend? I'm doing pretty good over here, trying to look up Monsara Pearl, but my internet doesn't want to work with me. But what can I do? What can I say? Let me see if there's anything else I can do. Oh goodness, life, such is life. So, anyways, did everybody have? Is everybody having a beautiful weekend? Did y'all cook any good food? I made some Cajun pasta the other day, and that stuff was killer, dude. I'm sorry, I'm joking around. There's a guy on TikTok, and he must be from Louisiana or something. Like a lot of people like, I've been around, and he makes like a huge amount of this like awesome spicy, Cajun cooking food, and he's like, "That's money, dude." This guy's hilarious. Anyways, I just had to tell myself that because I made some really nice fettuccine Cajun pasta. That stuff was money, dude. Anyways, you're the man, eh, Bow Tie? I appreciate that. We're just laughing, we're just kicking it, we're just taking it easy. If you got something good to drink, I don't know. Hope that you're doing good over there. Edge's Dragon, what's your favorite and least favorite from the House of Dolce Gabbana Light Blue line and that's limited edition flankers? Fantastic question. I honestly need to try more of them. I've tried a handful. I don't even remember, 4 or 5 or something like that. Living in Stromboli was decent. I know a lot of people like it, and people are probably not going to appreciate that I say it's my least favorite, but I have to be honest with you guys. Living in Stromboli, I just didn't like the woody dry down, and the citruses didn't do much for me. And, I forget there was the Italian Zest one. It had terrible performance, so I don't know which one to choose. The Italian Zest had terrible performance, but it smelled pretty nice. But the Living in Stromboli, I just didn't like how the woody element came together in the dry down. So those are the two I probably didn't like very much, but they were decent. My favorite is definitely, absolutely 100% is a Swing and Lipari. I know some people just don't know about it. Some people just seem to gloss over it, don't pay it any attention. But it's a beautiful. It smells like the ocean. It smells like a summer breeze. It's very heavy on the Ambroxan. So if you don't like Ambroxan, definitely don't go for it. If you didn't, it's not the same as Sauvage, but if you thought the Ambroxan and Sauvage was overbearing, and you never want to experience anything like that again, definitely avoid swimming in the Paris. But if you like a really heavy aquatic that's very salty, definitely give it a go. And I actually really like it. And for a fresher aquatic fragrance, it's certainly something worth a try. So, Swimming the Paris, I think more people need to try it. It's not a terribly unique fragrance, but it still manages to have some personality. It really does. So, anyways, oh, Total Fashion Sense. So good to see you pop in here. Absolutely, it's a pleasure. How you doing today? How's life treating you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm, taking it easy. I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready to relax tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna cook. I'm trying to think up something good to cook next. But I ate the the last of my gingerbread cookies, and I'm happy that I finally made some of those. It's been a little while, and I love those darn gingerbread cookies. So, anyways, how y'all been doing? Life's pretty good. Hopefully everything's going good for you. I know that I'm trying to have more success. We don't complain about that. We working towards the dreams, you know, definitely working towards the dream. Says Super Fat Bass says, yeah, I think some people have no sense of smell, hence the 20 sprays. I only overspray weak citrusy colognes. Absolutely. Again, do what you want to do. I mean, do what makes you happy. I am not the dictator of fragrance, and I have no intention. I actually love freedom, and we won't talk too much about that, but I'm not going to impress anybody or tell you how to live your life, anything like that. But the thing is, most fragrances you need, especially with designers on average, 4 or 5 sprays is more than enough, especially for a average day if you're going to be around people. 4 or 5, 6, maybe getting upwards to 7 sprays, depending on the fragrance, is enough or more than enough. I've actually worn some fragrances that I think are average performers, and I put on 3 or 4 sprays, trying to be sensible, trying to be respectable, and I've had people tell me that I am wearing too much fragrance with only 3 sprays. So that's just saying that, some people don't want you to wear a lot of fragrance. Maybe they disliked me. Maybe they were just trying to put me down. I really don't know. That could be the case. Who am I to say? But, those were just average performing fragrances. So Most of the time, I honestly will put on 5 or 6 or 7, and that definitely gets you noticed. That's a good balance of really get putting yourself out there, really smelling really good, but also, not being too loud and too obnoxious and too strong. So, yeah, it's, you know, and especially when some of these people still tell you to spray on your chest, you put 15 sprays on your chest, I mean, you won't be able to smell anything for like 3 days. I don't know. Yeah, you definitely won't be able to smell anything for sure. Beauty. Let me see here. I overspray. Yeah, but with citrusy fragrances, yeah, you can reapply or put on probably pretty almost as much as you want on of some of those. So, anyways, Edge's Dragon says Beauty of Capri. I honestly haven't tried that one. That's one of the ones I want to buy and I want to get my nose on. It looks really good. It's actually sold out a couple times, so I don't know if that one's going to be around forever, but Beauty of Capri by Dolce Gabbana looks pretty good. I'll have to keep an eye out on it. I've heard mixed reviews of Love Is Love. That's the newest one that has a little bit more of the sorbet note. Some people find it more feminine. Some people find it a little bit more charming and modern, perhaps. I don't know if I want to try it, but we'll have to see if I can or when I do. So good, good. Yeah, Total Fashion Sense, absolutely. Bowtie makes great recommendations. Top 5 YouTube reviewer, in my opinion. Yeah, Bowtie Fragrance Guy's a great guy. Sorry I didn't really give any recommendations or shout outs. I definitely respect all the people popping in here. Definitely consider y'all all my friends. Total Fashion Sense is awesome. Check out her content on Instagram as well. She's a darling and putting love out there and all that good stuff. And Bowtie Fragrance Guy, absolutely, he's doing a good thing. I like the thing he's got going on. Maybe I should wear a suit. I've been tempted to do that, but I don't really know if that's me. I really don't know if that's my personality. I actually wore a suit for a couple years, pretty much every day for a couple years. A suit and tie and all that. I can do it. I actually became very comfortable. It became like a second skin. It became like wearing normal clothes to me. But I don't know if I want to put that on that presentation or that type of attitude because I'm trying to be laid back and do my own thing and really be passionate about the fragrance. But maybe people would respect me a little bit more or pay attention to me. Maybe if I did wear at least a white shirt. So thank you so much for the love. Absolutely, Total Fashion Sense. You absolutely deserve it. Love what you got going on over there for sure. So, anyways, I'm still trying to get Mancera Pearl to pop up. It's not going to do that for me, and my internet is a mess. So, I have very limited internet access. But, anyways, I'll look up the notes after this, and maybe I'll watch a review or two and see what I can find about that fragrance. So, what else do we got going on? Have y'all heard about the House of Royal Blue? I've not tried any fragrances from the House of Royal Blue. We love you just the way you are. Don't change for nobody or no one. I hear you. I appreciate that too. Yeah, I definitely want to be true to myself, and I'm definitely trying to build up that that feeling and that emotion, and trying to be true to myself. And in my whole life, I either felt I had to, or people demanded that I fit. I did what they wanted and expected. And I'm trying to be a little bit more of myself, and you know have a personality and actually be a part be an individual. So anyways, Royal Blue by Olentia Narcissus actually looks quite nice. I don't know anything where you can even get these fragrances, but this is a new fragrance release that supposedly just came out. It has pink pepper, Gannett, hay, honey, lavender, orange blossom, woody notes, violet, star anise, cocoa pod, labdanum, patchouli, tobacco, tonka bean, vanilla, and vetiver. Royal Blue looks like something that I'd be all up. I'd be into that. So I'm definitely gonna see if I can't somehow get a sample of that. Y'all get me in trouble. I used to not always look up the new all the new releases. I already have like 1,000 fragrances I want to try. Now I got like 1,000 more. There's always something new popping in and popping out of there. So, anyways, there's a new brand called Wood. What is it called? Mixed Bar. I don't know if they'll be any good, but do y'all have a lot of experience with Laboratorio Olfactivo? I don't have much experience from the house. I've seen some people talk about them. I don't know. Have you tried the One Luminous Night? That's their brand new flanker of the Night series. I haven't. I don't have big connection. Is that fragrance even available yet? I guess it is. Maybe in Europe. No, actually, I'm wrong. I think Ginsent said it was available in Europe. It might be in the U.S. now. I think he bought it overseas and paid all that crazy shipping and the fees and everything. I think it was, isn't didn't he say that with that fragrance, Gent Scents paid like 150 buckaroos to get that darn thing? Anyways, the Luminous Night, it looks decent. I don't know if I want to blind buy into it. I got the one Royal Night. I had really high expectations. I did not like the fragrance. It was kind of like dark and dry and animalic, and it was a little bit more like ambergris focused, and it was didn't have the rich tobacco that I was expecting. It didn't have the sensuality that I wanted. And not every designer fragrance has to be sweet, but I was expecting for some kind of richness or sweetness to come through. And the one Royal Night didn't do it for me. So, and it's a shame because I actually had saved and to buy that fragrance. I'd wanted that fragrance for a very long time, and it's a shame that it really let me down. So, anyways, are you excited about it? Does it look good to you? Do you want to try that Luminous Night? Luminous Night. I don't know. I tend to wait for a good deal. That fragrance is kind of expensive, and who knows when it'll get to a good price. It'll become cheap. I don't know, guys. I don't know, ladies and gents. We'll have to see when I can get my hand on it. I don't even want to tell you how bad my internet is on this computer. I can actually get it to go to the homepage of Fragrantica, but if I touch anything, like I do the scroll wheel looking at the new perfumes, it'll actually like want to freeze and make me reload the page. That's how ridiculous this is. So, anyways, any questions for me? Let's jump. I think this is a really good point to actually ask my question. I do have a conversation that I want to have, and y'all can jump in this and say whatever you want. You don't have to wait for me. Some people think that they have to wait to comment, until I finish my thoughts. So I do have some big heated thoughts, but anyways, there are some new fragrances coming out. There's a Saint Vetiver by Dias and Durga. Y'all know Dias and Durga makes some good fragrances. So I definitely will want to try that one sometime in the future. Nobile 1942. I haven't tried many of their fragrances. There's a new Halloween Man fragrance called Halloween Man Hero. I'll probably wait for that to become a cheapie if whenever I do try it. So that'll be something to keep an eye out on. Some of y'all might be excited for a new Halloween Man in the future. I don't know if it'll become cheap by the time of Halloween, but maybe it will. Maybe we will get a Halloween treat this year. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyways, let's jump into my thoughts. Let's see. Okay, let's get to the comments and then I'll tell you my big thoughts and the discussion I wanted to have today. What do you think of the new Zerzov Decas? It looks really good. I haven't tried it yet. Have you already gotten your nose on it? You must be one of those that's really fast over there. I'm impressed. And to tell you thank you. Oh yeah, you know you listened. Zafira is beautiful, and I'm happy that you love it. It's gorgeous. It certainly is a great summer fragrance and a hidden gem. And I hope that more people try it. I used to like. Okay, let's jump to the next comment. Sorry, my mind is already there with Edge of the Dragon. Living Stromboli, more. I used to like it more than you do now. The contrast of the pepper and the water appealed to me. It was after I read the smells like pickle juice that my opinion changed. Power of suggestion. Yeah, I'm not. I never heard that suggestion, and I don't know if that would affect me or not. I never thought pickle juice when I smelled it. It's just that I don't really like the feeling in the dry down. It's I never thought pickle juice. I never felt pickle juice, but there is something odd about the dry down to me. So maybe that's what people are getting from the pickle juice. Anyways, Whitney says Pearl is allegedly a fig fragrance strong enough for winter. I do like a fig, so we'll have to see. I'll have to look it up and see if it works for me. Um, Now I mainly smell pickle juice. Well, maybe get that out of your head, and maybe if you can't and you don't like it anymore, that's sad to say, but the fragrance might be ruined for you. So that's just funny, but it's kind of sad too. Anyways, my big thought was, and again, I'm not trying to be overtly controversial. I'm not trying to. This is not aimed at any one person, and the fragrance community. This is not directed at any one person. So, uh, you know, it's not intended that way. But I wanted to bring up a question. It's not really a question, or just make a point. It's called "Who Has the Passion." Now, YouTube is going to do its thing with its algorithm, who's watching who, but again there are some people who have a lot of passion, and maybe they don't want to play the out. And that's we're not talking about that funny business and all that hashed out, over talked about, algorithm stuff. What we're talking about is that there's people who are very dedicated, maybe people like myself who put in a lot of work into this and are very passionate about fragrances. And where is the fragrance community, or what is the fragrance community doing regarding those people? Maybe like myself, and you know, because again, I'm not trying to criticize some of these bigger reviewers, but there's a couple of them I can think, and some of them are nice, some of them are kind, some of them are pretty decent people, but they might put out a fragrance review every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or once a month. And also they don't seem to be really exploring fragrances. They really don't seem to be that passionate about fragrances. And when you sometimes when you I've it's happened to me that I've recommend fragrances to them and they just completely ignore me, or just ignore you, and they're not they almost don't even want to try a new fragrance. And like today, it happened a week earlier, and one of the things that kind of set me off is I was in somebody else's live. I won't say who they are, but they're considered one of the new darlings in the fragrance community, and a lot of people like them, and they're pretty nice. They're pretty knowledgeable. They're doing a pretty good thing, but they like ignored me. Like I was trying to be friendly to them. I've never said anything against them or done anything against them, and they just like ignored my comments. So about fragrance, and eventually they responded to some of them, but I don't know. It's like they're apprehensive. That maybe they're holding themselves back. And the funny thing is, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. It's another one of those. I don't know how to feel about the fragrance community. It's a wonderful place, and I'm happy. This is not a negative talk. This is actually positive. But I'm just saying that I think that us, for people who find friendship and find we connect and we're really passionate about learning fragrances. We got to try to. I know tags help, but we all y'all got to be friends with each other and somehow try to. I don't know. Maybe try to help us in some kind of way. And I love the conversation and the back and forth we're having here. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. But I also see some people who have been doing fragrance reviews for years. We all have our different styles, and you might like certain people. I know some people might not like me or my presentation. But there's a lady out there, like, so one name is named Silver Butterfly, and she's been reviewing for years and years and years. It's not, and this isn't about numbers either, but this is really about like friendship and engagement. You know, what can we do to help, support each other? What can we do to help each other? Because again, I find it really funny. It's again not about the algorithm, but why do some of these people who put out 2 or 3 videos, I mean, like maybe a video every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or some of these people even, they might only release a video a month or take a hiatus, and then they come out and just hit you with a top 10 list. I've seen some of these people do that. And us who put out a video every 2 or 3 times a week, if not more, and are very passionate and constantly learning about fragrances, constantly exploring the fragrances. We hear about the new fragrances and we try ones as fast as we can. And we're very, we're passionate. We're always learning and testing and experiencing and sharing the information that we know and trying to help the fragrance world. It's like some of those people aren't seen as, I guess, are viewed as in such high esteem. So essentially, I don't know. I guess it's should. I don't even know how to present what I'm thinking in my head. I don't know. People with numbers, it does show that you have social proof. It does show that, but of what value is that, and I guess I don't know. I'm not trying to judge people's characters, but what does that prove? And I guess as far as knowledge, or passion for fragrance, or trying to actually trying to help people, because there's some of these big fragrance people, you could call them influencers, and they kind of hype up a fragrance because they know it'll be mass appealing, and or they say it's amazing. They tell you you must buy it or you have to have it in your collection and stuff like that. And that's not the kind of stuff that I think at least I want to see as a fragrance person. I don't want anybody to tell me I have to have it, or I should buy it, or I must have it. And they kind of push fragrances onto these people who want to feel really safe in a blind buy. And somebody messaged me, or told me that something to the effect recently, that they wanted a recommendation for my fragrance. And I told them a bunch of information about the fragrance. I helped them understand the fragrance, but then they're like, essentially like, should I blind buy it? And I'm like, well, you should try to get a sample if you can, and you shouldn't just try trust my nose because everybody has a different sense of smell, and I might love it, you might dislike it, vice versa, or anything. So, I don't know. It's kind of funny when some fragrance reviewers, if you create the hype about a fragrance, and then everybody has in their mind or they're convinced that's a beautiful fragrance, then they don't some people might not think for themselves and they might blind by the fragrance and then they might think it's beautiful and then they tell everybody and it's kind of like a revolving cycle and sometimes that happens with hype. And I don't know, I guess I just try to encourage everybody to think for themselves. I that's kind of one of my thoughts with this, and I think that if everybody thought for themselves more, maybe they would, I don't know, maybe they'd be more entertained or more interested in the details about fragrances and all that. So I don't know. Again, I'm doing my very best for y'all. I hope that y'all like my presentation and my passion, what I shared, my knowledge, and what I think I know, what I tried to share. But I'm not discouraged. This is not what this is about. I just I just wish there was a way to, I don't know, connect with people on even a deeper level, because that's what I care about with fragrance, and what I know and what I do. It's I wish there was even a better way or a deeper way to really connect to y'all, and to, maybe, like, I don't know, for us, for the people who are really passionate about fragrances, who are doing individual fragrance reviews, or really putting out knowledge and really valuable information to actually, support each other. Maybe we'll figure out a way to do that. Maybe we can help each other figure out that idea. So, anyways, scent of the day, Maxims. Oh, Maxim's PH. I don't think I've tried that one, but that sounds interesting. Hey Ben, how's it going, brother? I'm doing pretty good. Abraham, sorry for my little rant. Let me catch up with all the comments. So, everybody popping in. So, that's just some of my thoughts. I'm really passionate. Again, I think it's really important as fragrance enthusiasts. Some people don't maybe want to learn, or maybe don't care about learning, just about smell. But I don't know. I wish that more people would really get passionate about fragrances, would really, I don't know, get into the nitty gritty. And I don't know. That's just something that I think. That's how I feel, at least. So, see, I have Amourud Whetstone and Lunar Vetiver coming in from my fragrance samples. They're certainly worth trying. If you love vetiver, if you especially if you like Gray Vetiver by Tom Ford, you might really like that Whetstone. It's quite nice. It's really high quality. Um, How's life treating me? Total Fashion Sense. I've talked about that a little bit, but thank you so much for asking. I'm doing pretty good. I'm holding in there, trying to have some more success, and I will. I actually will get that soap company out for y'all soon. Hopefully, I think I'm going to have to work through Etsy. Hopefully, that's okay. A lot of people know about Etsy and how it works, and hopefully, that's not unusual. Maybe I'll be able to build up to the point I can actually have an official website. So, anyways, let's get back to the comments. Okay, I talked about those. Okay. Okay, there's no real honesty from the end anymore. The numbers and the followers, it's almost become a business instead of the love and respect for these amazing fragrances house. That's kind of how I feel about it. It's, there's little accountability, the viewers, even if you weren't the most honest, and even if you really, you just talked up a fragrance or you hyped it up, and then people, even if you had, I don't know, 10 people who bought it who were unsatisfied, a bunch of people, because you were speaking so positively about a fragrance and you made people feel good about something, maybe even if they didn't buy it, because they watched the video longer and you were positive, people, that boost your channel, and makes your channel on YouTube keep growing and growing and growing. And most people like most fragrances, especially if they aren't really deep or picky with fragrances, especially if you're hyping up, fairly likable fragrances. Most people are going to be happy about it, and it seems to be a cycle that keeps going. That's right, yeah. And it's funny. I wish that I don't know. I don't know. Oh, maybe numbers. I wish that numbers or metrics or any of that stuff wasn't really a part of the YouTube thing. But Indecient says, hello, Ben. Hey, everybody. Hey there, Fritz the Cat. Super Fat Bass says, exactly. Good manners. It's not much to ask people to respond or to comment. Some of these reviewers are just trying to play the game. They don't really care. Yeah, it's true. And Yeah, it's and again with comments, I'm not complaining about people not commenting on my videos, but I am authentic. I hope that people would comment, and I respond to all of your comments. And I do have some awesome people, and so a lot of friendship, and I do appreciate that. But yeah, it's people. Some people they don't respond to their people who comment. I've seen people ask them questions and they don't respond. I know that some of these people are probably really successful. I know that some of them have professional jobs or families and whatever. Maybe they don't want to spend time, but I respond to every comment, and I've done that for what is that, over 2 years now. I've responded to every comment, unless the few times where there were trolls or spammers or something, or the few people who were like, that what they were doing wasn't really a good thing. 100% pretty much. And I don't know. It's not really about the engagement. It's not really about the numbers, is what I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about is, I don't know, kind of, I guess, the fragrance community in general. It's always been a funny thing. Like I've told y'all, when I first got into the fragrance community, I realized that my videos were poor. That I still hadn't built much confidence. I'm the first one to admit that. I admit that my lighting was terrible. I was recording videos in the horizontal, I guess you could call, position, which is a really the you should the wrong way to record videos. So instead of seeing it like widescreen, like a rectangle, you'd only see a sliver. I didn't know any better, and there's a lot of things I was doing wrong. But and maybe that impacted my channel, and maybe that's again, it's not about the numbers, but maybe my channel will never recover from that. Anyways, but I got up to like 500 subs or so. And again, y'all know me on Instagram and everywhere. I respond and I reach out and I try to befriend and get to know and help out everybody, and I mean just about anybody. And I comment on people's videos, but it's there's a couple really good people recently. And again, I need to maybe do another shout out video, but people, the bigger, most of the other fragrance reviewers don't have any intention or don't do anything like that. They don't seem to build up a community unless they're fellow fragrance reviewers and they start using tags to build each other up that way. So I don't know what's going on. It's all a bit funny. So I still watch your reviews, but don't get influenced anymore. I found most of my favorite frags from looking up individual note listings. That's a wonderful thing. Be you. That's the thing, and that's what I try to encourage people. Don't I guess that's one of the things I was talking about too with hype. Hype or popularity or trends do help. Or is what YouTube's looking for. It's what brands and companies look for. It's a big factor in purchasing, but it's not something I try to encourage. I try to encourage people to find what they actually like and what they actually enjoy. And but trends come and go, and that's what companies look for, and that's why so many beautiful fragrances come and then they get discontinued, because people aren't going to find most people don't really dedicate themselves to one fragrance and don't buy it that consistently or that quickly enough. And it's better for them to try to create hype and a new trend on a new fragrance, and keep that ball rolling about excitement and the newest best thing. It's a part of the fragrance community. Well, I'm not trying to tear that down or take that away. I wish there was something I could do to improve the situation. And I guess that's all I can do is try to educate, try to share what I know. Again, I don't know everything, but try to share what I do know and try to help people learn about fragrance in the best way that I can. So, anyways, this is not me. It's not me complaining. This is just me thinking my thoughts and putting my mind out there. Do y'all have any ideas about how we could actually support each other? I mean, tags and all that are good, but actually support, fellow followers actually liking each other and engaging each other. You can see other people's comments and befriend each other here on YouTube. I almost feel like Instagram is better about that. There's more of a culture of that, but maybe that's one thing that needs to happen more. That we all engage and comment on and get engaged with each other's comments. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know what we got to do. Anyways, I hope that I am ultimately a good influence in this fragrance community, because I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to tear down other fragrance reviewers. That's not what this is all about. but you can tell who are, trying to help educate people, and who are really passionate about fragrance, and really, really, I guess, really care. I guess that's what I'm saying. You can kind of tell who really cares about what they're presenting and what they're doing, and trying to help you educate people. And hopefully this doesn't come across as complaining. That is not what this is about. But I kind of do wish that people would see that authenticity, and they would be able to tell who's authentic and who's not authentic. Because I certainly feel like that is a very important part of being I don't know, somebody who shares information, or somebody who's, trying to help people, and, I guess trying to find information, helping share what they know. So if you're not authentic, I don't know, I guess you're not really learning, or you're probably, some of these people, they might not, we're all learning. All of us aren't perfect, but I don't know. I don't know. And some of y'all might think I'm ridiculous, because you'll probably think I'm too wordy, or talk about the notes too much, or I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know. So that's just some of my thoughts. Who has the passion, who cares about the fragrances, and I used to talk about this topic quite a bit, and I actually had some fragrance reviewers get actually mad about it, and they actually got a couple of them commented. I didn't try to fight them. I could have tried to made a big fight about it. It certainly would have caused drama, and it certainly probably would have got me views, but I never did that. But they criticized it because I talk about, like, I got passion, and for fragrance, and I get all hyped up, and ready to talk about these fragrances. So, anyways, Total Fashion. Yes, Ben got to run. Great live. Anyways, much love as always. Love your friendship and your knowledge. You're amazing. Well, thank you so much for that friendship. Was this a worthwhile conversation? Let me know. Maybe you felt like this conversation didn't go anywhere, or it wasn't worthwhile. But I'd encourage y'all, as you know, if you are watching my content and you already know this, you probably, if you find my content entertaining, if you find it valuable, you're probably a person who already has a noggin. You're probably already thinking. You're already a person who is kind of a pretty self-aware. But I don't know if it's a bad thing, but I say, don't buy into hype. Even though it's fun to see you buy a fragrance when other people like a fragrance, and there are fragrances I've even talked about that are hype worthy, but I don't know. Don't buy into trends unless you feel like you really like it and you really want it, and that makes you feel really good. But more than just the feeling, definitely try to understand what you're buying, and the brand and the passion. Again, I don't want to tear down other people's brands and what they're doing, but you see fragrance companies come out, and sometimes these fragrance companies are from fragrance reviewers, and they don't have a story behind their brand, or an image, or they don't have a story to tell, or they don't, I, I just have, to me, that I find it really strange. I'm not going to name any of these people by name, but you can look at just about all of them, just about all these fragrance people who've come out with their own brands. They don't have a story to tell. They don't have an inspiration. It's not like they've dreamed or wanted to create these brands. It's not like they dreamt of creating this brand for years. It's not like they've had a story behind it. It's not like the name is special to them. It's not like, they feel like their fragrance brand creates something special or unique in either art style or form, or like the purpose, like with a company, like its mission statement. I don't feel that passion behind a lot some of what these brands are doing, and what some of these content creators are doing, and I just find it, I don't know, I wish I could help. I wish I could improve things. I wish I could do more. So how long have you been doing this? I've been reviewing for over 2 years now, actually, fragrance reviewing. I don't know. Has it been three? I think it's two, maybe three. I don't know. I think I'm on my third year. But I've actually but before I even started my fragrance channel, I didn't, I'd already been into fragrance for a year and a half, or maybe even 2 years. I'd already been buying fragrances and watching other fragrance reviewers, and learning about fragrance before I even started. So I didn't know any better. Maybe I should have, if I would have started fragrance reviewing almost 5 years ago, With when I first started talking about, I would have been talking about weird cheapies, and I would have been at college, and I would have been talking about Invictus and Dylan Blue, and I wouldn't have known what I was doing. I would have had no idea what I was doing, but maybe I should have done that. John, I'm not going to say any brand in specific, but I just feel that way about a lot of them in general. And I made a comment on one of their brands again. What I won't say who it was, and they kind of evaded the question. And I don't know. I didn't. I'm not. I didn't get mad at them. I didn't get disappointed or anything. But I don't know why. Why would you put this much effort? I know the obvious thing is to say just money. I mean, that's the obvious thing to say. But why would you create a company or put your name out there or affiliate yourself maybe with a company? And again, you don't know how much really creative control some of these people have. I'm not really talking about that or not. That's a whole different issue with how much control they have and legal issues and legal rights and whatnot. But why would you affiliate yourself with a company if you don't really are if you're not passionate about something? I guess when I do something in life, or if I want something, if I'm working towards something, if I'm trying to do the right, feel like I'm doing the right thing, or working towards a dream or a goal, I try to be passionate about something, and actually, put a lot of heart and soul into what I do. And I don't know. And I think that's a really strange occurrence in the fragrance community. I think it's really strange because if you look at a lot of these companies, fragrance brands from fragrance makers, and maybe even some of these companies. I mean, I'm not even trying to focus on fragrance reviewers necessarily here. There's lots of pseudo clone houses popping up. There's lots of brands that are popping up here and there that are, again, nothing against synthetics, but they're highly synthetic, and I don't know where they get their juice, and they don't tell you about the quality or the blending or any of these things. And they kind of come and they kind of go, and they sometimes disappear, and some of them get popular. And it's I don't know, there's not that connection. That's not You'd think that they would put out like a marketing campaign, and that they would try to share with you a bunch of information, and that you'd think you would see that passion. Do y'all have any thoughts about this? Why don't we see more passion in the fragrance world in general? Why don't we see that enthusiasm? Because with a lot of successful brands, even if you like them or dislike them, a lot of them, like, they have an image. Like when you watch a commercial, you know what the kind of the company stands for, and what they're kind of trying to offer you. When you see if some of these fragrance houses and some of these fragrance brands, I don't know if you see that authenticity. I mean, they're offering you a smell, but what are they really? I mean, but are they? Do you connect to the brands? Do you actually connect to the brand? And do you actually connect to the image and the story? And I don't know, or do they even have a story? That's the problem. That's really the problem. That they don't seem to even have a story. So Whitney says, "I'll reach out to you on Instagram some points and point you some things out that may help." I'm reading for you. Absolutely, Whitney. Please do that. I appreciate you. I'm here for you, and thank you for trying to help me as well. So, any thoughts or question, guys? That's really my thoughts here. And again, I'm not trying to be overtly critical. I think this is something the fragrance community does need to talk about, though. I'm very passionate about this. Sorry, my nose has just started getting funny, but I think it's something that us as the fragrance community seriously needs to consider with authenticity. Hey there, Olfactophiles. Good to see you pop in here. It's a pleasure. How's life treating you? What's good? What's new? How's life popping? I'm actually going to get off here really soon. I probably need to, I don't know, take a shower or relax. I'm not angry or anything. I don't know, kind of in a weird mood. It's because I feel like there needs to be more authenticity in the fragrance world, in the fragrance community, and I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to help and how we can help. And maybe tags is maybe becoming friends and tagging each other is really the only way to go. We might be related. My maiden name is Joe. That'd be really funny if you were both related. That's really funny. And it is a small world. I won't put out my last name here, but I thought that there weren't a lot of my last name or anybody like me, because where I live, there's nobody else around here with this last name. But if you Google, you can Google, and Google will estimate and tell you supposedly how many people out there exist with your last name. My last name isn't the most biggest in the world, but supposedly there's a million or more people out there supposedly with the same last name. I've never really met them besides my own direct family, but it would be fun somehow to meet other people who have the same name. That'd be a wonderful thing. And for some people, that you might have a very common last name, and that might not be a funny that might be a funny concept. But I've never met anybody outside my immediate family with my same last name. So I might seem like an odd guy or an odd guy out. Maybe I am. So, oh yes, Ben, I think there are dozens of smaller channels that are very authentic, but there are several that aren't so much. That's kind of what yeah, Alfacto Files. That's a good point. What I'm trying to get at. I'm definitely not trying to act like the fragrance community is bleak or dark or anything like that. What I'm trying to say is that some of the biggest fragrance reviewers, again, I'm not taking any shots at anybody directly or intentionally, but some of the biggest fragrance reviewers, some of them are awesome. Some of them I love their personalities, despite some people might think they're ridiculous. Like I love Kuba Nose. Kuba Nose is awesome. Love him or hate him, he's got a personality, and I think he's pretty darn authentic. And but there's a couple of these guys, and they like, especially with these brands and these companies, and like, I mean, like, what's going on behind the scenes? It's like, not you don't know. I don't know. And again, to me, if you were to build a company, to me it'd be a passion project. You'd be so passionate about it. You put so much heart and soul and individual and your own personality and like art and your style and like some of these people are musicians. Work music into your fragrance brands. I mean, you could do all kinds of things, and I would love to see that. That's essentially what I want. I want to see. I want to see that. I want to see all of that worked into everything people do. So. Anyways, great point though. There are a lot of upcoming passionate people, but that again, numbers aren't everything, but that's the sad thing. You get really passionate people come in here and they might review fragrances for 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, who knows? They come and then they go and then they go about their lives and they, build up a really good collection. They might talk amongst themselves or in fragrance groups, and but they might review for a very short amount of time, or maybe never really start a channel at all. And but some of these people who get massive, they don't seem to be so I don't know, authentic or connected. So anyways, we'll stop talking about that. I feel like I've talked about this for long enough. Are there any thoughts or topics or feelings or things that y'all want to share with me before I go? Actually, I'm being really funny over here. I'm actually doing something really strange. This is our wanted cap. I don't like how it fits on the bottle. I've actually found out that it has a really sharp edge, and I can scrape things, which is really funny. Oh, I don't know if y'all can see that, which the edges on this cap are too sharp. Anyways, Whitney says my family is from Trinidad. You olfactophiles? Oh, Trinidad. I'd like to visit there one day. I have never been there, but it'd be fun. It would be lots of fun. So, Trinidad. Anyways, any questions for me, everybody? Wonderful people. I see 12 people are here right now. I do see that we got up to 12 likes. I appreciate that. I didn't even ask for the 12 likes, and but I appreciate that y'all would do that and support my channel and support what's going on. This was a very heartfelt discussion. Again, this did not come from a negative place. This came from me wanting and concerned for the fragrance community, because I don't feel like it's very healthy. That there's so many. I guess if you try to watch fragrance content, all you're pushed and YouTube pushes all these really big people who don't really seem to be that passionate or authentic, or don't sometimes they aren't, and about what they do or what their products perhaps, or some of the things they're involved with. And then you have all these people who are really really passionate and trying to have fun, and some of these people who are very know so much, and there's people who know a lot more than I do, but and they don't get the mention. What I'm subscribed to Robes08, and I have been for years. For example, y'all know him. He's been around. He's probably the biggest or the guy who's been the longest in the fragrance game. And I don't really see him get promoted by YouTube. really ever. I don't know. I don't remember if I've ever seen him actually. If I search for a certain fragrance, I mean, if it's a specific fragrance review and I'm searching for it, yes, I'll get that. But if I'm searching for, just a certain type, a style of fragrance, I'm always going to get a top 10 list from somebody, or I'm going to get somebody, or a much more kind of bigger person, hyped and recommended by YouTube, that I guess they think is going to be a bigger, more important video. So, anyways, you should get into wet shaving reviews. Well, John, I'm thinking about that. Maybe I should. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. I don't. Some people have told me that's a big community. I might have to make a. I don't know if I want to do that, but we'll have to see if I do. I am passionate about some other things. I'm going to try to do some outdoors channels. Again, I live in the woods. I'm going to try to do some some crafting channels, and putting some tools together. Those kinds of things. See if that does anything for me, because that's something I care about. I don't know if y'all ever watched like ASMR. Somebody putting like a kitchen knife together or something like that. It's it's I find it really fun and therapeutic, to me at least, to put a tool together, and then you have that tool in your hand, and you know that you made that tool, or at least you put it together, or you repaired something. Maybe if it's as simple as you put a new handle on something and it works. So Ultra Super says I'm the 13th. I appreciate that. I really do. We're up to 17. I wasn't asked. I thank you so much. I was about to go, and I was happy with what did I say? 12. I was happy about that, but thank you. I appreciate that. Fritz DeCat says money kills passion. Why the greatest artists go broke? I guess that's the case, but again, that's funny. It's y'all know the old mantra. I don't know if it's a mantra. The old, I guess it's the joke that you die broke as an artist, and then you become rich when you're dead. I don't think my channel is going to become popular when I become old or something, as a YouTube content creator. But it is a funny thing that sometimes I guess some people are underrepresented, or don't get I don't know, the exposure that something should. It's kind of a funny thing. It's a funny world. Hey Ben, I got Ultra Red by Paco Rabanne. Oh, you did Ultra Red a few days ago, and I'm wearing it now. Got it on the hype, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm happy that you are enjoying it. And again, nothing's. I guess hype isn't a terribly terrible. I mean, a bad thing. I'm not trying to act like hype is a terribly evil thing. But I guess if you're, I don't know. I'm trying to find the right words to say it. You can go in. I've got it. I bought in the hype before, but you can buy into hype kind of knowing what you're getting into. But you can't. But when you buy into hype just purely on the emotional sense of things, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing. It's a funny world. It's a funny world. Anyways, but money kills passion, Fritz. That's probably what we're going to end on. That's probably what we're going to wrap this up on. If you feel like you're forced to do fragrance reviews, or you feel like you have to do a certain type of fragrance review, or you have to do a certain type of content, and to get the views, and you have to sacrifice yourself, I guess that maybe is what's happening. Maybe people don't feel like they can authentically be themselves because it wouldn't get them the views. But I mean, there's plenty of YouTubers. There's everyone from PewDiePie to everybody else in the world, and they get to be authentic and be themselves and put their personality out there, and it being a fragrance reviewer or content creator, whatever you want to say, works for them. Why can't you be authentic and create what you want to create, and I don't know, still get noticed? And I'm not going to say who. I mean, I've talked about this person enough, but there's a couple of content creators. Well, maybe I should say one in particular, and they can say almost anything they want and kind of insult or joke about certain people and things. And I've talked about that a little bit before, and people still gladly are and are happy to watch them and support them. It's a crazy world. Um, Anyways, I got some pretty bad hyped ones in the past. Yeah, again, as far as I can tell, y'all know this, I've said it a couple times, but hyped fragrances generally are very mass appealing, and they're usually pretty good fragrances. but they're usually not anything overtly special. They're going to appeal to almost everybody. They're going to work. They're going to be hyped fragrances. Usually are going to appeal to almost everybody, and they are going to be good. But again, for you to find something that you really love, what my channel is all about is you finding fragrances that you actually like. You got to test things. You're going to find a lot of fragrances and try a lot of fragrances. You're going to love some of them. You're going to dislike some of them, and you might find one that you really really love every once in a while. And that's what this is all about. So it's a I don't know. That's a part of the experience with just about anything. You got to find the right thing for you. You got to test things out and understand. Maybe you got to understand yourself, and you got to maybe need to understand your taste and your preferences and what works for you. So, what is popular isn't always good. That I definitely agree, and that's kind of how I've kind of been feeling. And again, this isn't all about me either. I felt like there's some really, really fun, really authentically good people who've come into the fragrance community recently. Some people have managed to grow really fast, more power to them. There's a couple of them who I don't really connect to their personality or what they're doing, but they're actually growing really fast and they're becoming really successful. But there's also some people who are really authentic and really genuine, and they're fun and they're cool, and they're definitely putting their passion out there, but they're not growing at all. I mean, they're small and they're staying small, and by I've seen fragrance creators for years, and I've been a content creator for a couple of years, and they're probably not going to get even above 1,000 followers. So yeah, I won't make videos if I felt I couldn't be myself and have a certain types of videos. I do it for fun. Yeah, Olfacto Falls, absolutely, Tara. If you're not having fun with it, if you don't feel like you don't get to be yourself, why make the content? And that's the thing we get. Instead of hype, I think us as a fragrance community needs to focus on authenticity. And if we're all happy, we maybe YouTube wouldn't promote our videos as much. Maybe us as maybe less people would get fragrance videos suggested to them outside of the fragrance community or people who like fragrances. But I think would be a lot more happy. And I think if people saw that we're happy and authentic and genuine, I think that would do more good for us. Instead of making every top 10 list, that mass appealing top 10 list or whatever it was, and always trying to do that, and always trying to feed this machine of a beast they call YouTube. So I don't know. There's hopefully we can find some kind of solution, and maybe YouTube will improve, but I don't know what we can do. We'll figure it out. Um, I used to like everything in my youth, but now my tastes are particular. Well, absolutely, and that's a beautiful thing. Ultra Supra, you get to save your time and your effort and your energies and focus on what really helps you and what makes you feel good, and what's best for you and maybe your family or your friends or whatever. So Byredo's overrated strictly because overpriced. Yeah, and I definitely try when I review fragrances, I do try to keep price as a very important part of my evaluations of fragrances. And again, I'm not here to try to tell other fragrance reviewers how to make content or what to do, but I personally definitely feel that price is a significant part of a review, because there's many options. There's lots of fragrances of that type of style or a certain note that's in the fragrance, if it's a tobacco fragrance or whatever. And there's options and there's competition, and in the back of your head you have to really compare or try to evaluate this fragrance compared to similar fragrances in the same price bracket, or maybe compared with that whatever note or style that fragrance is. And in my mind, I try to evaluate it and compare it to maybe even things that are more expensive or cheaper, and kind of give y'all my thoughts and my feelings about how that fragrance is. And I think that's important. But y'all know that maybe people don't want to think about things so much. Maybe it just feels good to sit back and feel good, and somebody says positive things about a fragrance, and buy it and believe it's good, and it's probably a pretty good fragrance, and sit back and just enjoy life and just like that. I don't know. It's a funny world. Who is an example of someone who's just being themselves but are staying small? Um, let me see if I can't. Let me see. I'm really bad about names recently, especially with all these new people popping into the fragrance community. Um, Let's see here. Let me type and see who I can find. Fab Trends by Mia is one of them. I don't know if y'all know Fab Trends by Mia. She's a wonderful lady. She puts a lot of work and effort out there, and she hasn't really grown significantly. And I think that Fab Trends by Mia deserves more love, at least, or more, I don't know, YouTube views. What do you think is an expensive fragrance? It's always have more expensive ingredients. Um, it really depends. You generally do get more quality, but again, it depends on the brand and if they're actually giving you value. Especially with if it's an oud fragrance, you have to be very careful because a lot of the times you're overpriced for oud because it's seen as a luxury, and you're being charged a lot of money because companies know that you probably don't know better. They're giving you farmed or synthetic oud, and sometimes that really works in fragrances, and it does smell really good. I like a lot of Western oud fragrances, but if they're charging you an awful lot of money for it, like it should have really authentic rare ouds or something. Yeah, it's not good. That's definitely not good, but generally, I mean, you'll get better ingredients when it's more expensive. But again, I've talked about it before, the law of diminishing returns. The more you pay, yes, you get better quality, but you get less and less of it the more you pay. The more you pay, the less and less you get. And, it depends on your opinion, but and with every market, with every type of good, it's different. And this is a principle that applies to everything. But with fragrances, if you're talking about full retail price, after that $80 range with designer fragrances, you'll get less for your money, but you will get something maybe a little bit better once you pay more than the $80. With discounted design, fragrances that are on sale, past the $40-$50 range, you're getting less and less with things on sale. After the $150 range with niche fragrances, that's kind of a big step up. You're getting pretty good quality, but after $150, you're really kind of exchanging synthetics for more naturals. Once you get into that 250 $200 range, yes, there are some brands that give you naturals and give you spectacularly rare ingredients and really give you really high quality, but you start paying more for branding. After you get past that $150 range, you really start paying for branding, and you kind of can get ripped off depending on what you're getting into. I mean, there are fragrances that are affordable, don't get me wrong, that are cheap. I mean, $20 fragrances or whatever, $50 fragrances, and they can be a rip off too just because of, their ingredients are just so cheap or the blending or whatever. But it really depends. But yeah, it's hard to evaluate quality, but you certainly can. If you have a nose for it, if you smell lots of fragrances, you certainly can. Let's see. Let's get into the comments. Let's see here. But hopefully that made sense. Ultra Supra. There are fantastically good quality fragrances, but it really depends on what you want. Lots of people are happy with. I love everything from designers to cheapies to indie to niche. So if I like it, if it works for me, it smells good, I go for it. Um, but again, everybody has a different feeling about what's good on price or what's good quality or what's a good brand, what's a good company. So it really depends on you. But I think that there are some fragrances you can tell, and especially the ones that people say are masterpieces, where the blending is spectacular, the quality is really good for the price, and it's something that's desirable. If somebody says makes it a 10 out of 10, I think there's a reason why people say that at least. So Ben, did you grab a bottle of the new Redbrook fragrance? I didn't. I have not. Actually, I'm on a definitely a tight budget right now, and hopefully I can get there where I have more of a budget, but I don't. Scentland seems pretty honest, and Linear Smith, absolutely, absolutely. Those guys are legit. Those are some of the guys that definitely deserve respect. And again, you might look at their channels and say, "Oh, they got a couple thousand." But the thing is, I don't know how long exactly they've been going on, but I know that I don't know exactly with Lanier Smith, but I know that Scentland has been around for what, 5 years or more? I forget exactly. He might be out there. He might be 6 years, but Scentland's been around for a while, and he's true to himself. I don't know. I don't know these days. I mean, he's a cool guy. Maybe he just doesn't. You would think that with the fragrance community and the fragrance world, that he's, he's giving people what they want. So, uh, especially these days with reformulations, yeah, reformulations, you definitely can get cheaped out or cheated out. Niche is a rip at the high end. Yeah, if you're, it really depends, but yeah, you're right. Most brands are definitely ripping you off, and you're really paying way too much money for the quality for what you're getting. But again, there's people out there who buy $1 million cars, and it's really hard to evaluate value because it's so perspective. I mean, it's so what how do you say it? Objective. I think that's the word. Anyways, the but yeah, it's once you start paying more than 150 for a niche fragrance, you're definitely getting a lot less value for your money. But there's beautiful things out there, and once you start paying well above 300 or so, then you really start probably are paying for branding. And I've joked about some of these brands like Roja, and it's really true. Roja even has some beautiful fragrances. I mean, I can't deny, you can't deny that Roja does make some pretty good fragrances, but are they really worth what they're asking? That's the $1 million question. Are they actually worth what they're asking? So, um, anyways, I'm impressed at some of these self-taught reviewers, artists. Absolutely. That's another thing. I guess I'm a what how do they call that? Like disruptive people to a market? I forget what the term is called. But I would like to see more of that too. Perfumers that are, self-taught perfumers who have a passion for it, and they might not have to go through all the programs and the research, and but they learn, and they do things on their own style, and they create and they give to the market in a very passionate sense. Yes, there is something to say about education. Yes, there is something to say with all the knowledge and all the technology that probably IFRA and these organizations have. But is that always going to create the best perfumers? I don't know. That's a debate to be had, and I would love to see more of these upcoming brands, come. So, Lanier seems to make videos only when he wants to. It's perfectly fine for me, but I wish he made more. Yeah, that's the thing. If consistently is definitely a part of it. But even some of these people is what with what I was saying. They're very consistent and they're very passionate, and they still don't. YouTube or I don't know, the fragrance world doesn't seem to work out. So it's uh it's a funny thing. Anyways, I'm trying to log into my YouTube right now. My internet is terribly, terribly slow, and I'm trying to remember who are these some of these new people that I've found. Maybe I'll try to do another shout out video. Again, that takes me hours and hours of editing. I would love just to make a big list for y'all. Maybe I'll try to do that for as a post. Would that be okay? If I just got a bunch of tags for y'all and I put them in a big post that y'all can see, would that be okay? On my YouTube channel, not really a video or anything, and y'all could click on all these people because a lot of them come and go. I've shouted out. I don't know. I don't know if it's hundreds, but an awful lot of people in the past, and they come and they go. But I don't. I'm trying to log in here. It's Anyways, Linear Smith is Jim. He's a real gent. He's a real gentleman. Absolutely, for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, I definitely agree with your assessment of values there. Yeah, there's a lot to learn and a lot to understand, but you definitely are able to pick out quality and blending eventually. You know, and really the thing is, if even if they're using cheaper ingredients, you can make cheaper ingredients smell absolutely gorgeous if the blending's really great. And that's the funny thing. That's the really funny thing. My phone is about to die, so I'm about to head out. Well, Facto Files, Tara, thank you so much for popping in. It was a pleasure. Hope that you had some fun. I hope that we had a good evening tonight, and we had a fun time chatting it out and having a fun time. Fritz the cat says bye. Yeah, good night, Tara. I'm probably going to head out here soon. I cannot get my internet to seem to work right now, but I think I'll try to make a big list with a bunch of people. Again, I try to find the smaller fragrance reviewers and support them, and I think that's important that we build up and encourage each other. And again, I wish that with YouTube that they're like when you get on, for example, with Instagram, you immediately if you go to the bottom of some of your page of what was it like with tags and some of these pages, you'll get to see all the new coming people who are make similar content to you, or who makes content you might like. And so it's extremely easy. I get every day. So sometimes I have five, six, seven, eight recommendations of new content creators who make fragrance related content on Instagram. On YouTube, there's no way to do that, and you can type and you can search for for people. You can actually type in fragrance or all kinds of different fragrance things, and then you can filter. You can filter your search, and then it'll suggest channels for you. But then all you see is like numbers, and you don't really know who's new. So and then you have to filter through, there's decades of channels and of random people, and also you're not really getting channels or people who are suggested to you who might work for you and your personality, and what you might like or what you might dislike. So um, I don't know. Y'all know that I've talked about YouTube having all kinds of, I don't know, funny problems and issues, and I still think that I think that there's a lot of room to improve, I guess you could say. Okay, have you tried H24? I have. If you haven't watched it yet, I have my review out on that fragrance, H24 by Hermes. I have lukewarm feelings about it. I had some mixed thoughts and feelings, but ultimately I do want Hermes to succeed as a company, and I had a suspicion that they would do something like this. It's definitely the trend. It's definitely something that's a lot of companies are going to want to do to make a unisex, androgynous, new modern, almost like more synthetic style fragrance. I knew that it was coming. I knew that Hermes and a lot of these companies are probably going to do that kind of fragrance. But is it something that I look forward to, or I usually like? No. But I try to keep my personal opinions out of the fragrance review. Hopefully, y'all can see that, and that was my intention. That's not even something I tried to really factor too much into the fragrance review. It's it's just that Hermes has a lot of potential, and they have a lot of history, and they have these DNAs, and they know what works, and they played it super safe. But I'll let you watch the review. It's not a bad fragrance. I think that you'd be much happier with buying the Hermes Eau Très Fresh or the original Terre de Hermes. I think you'd be much happier with it than the H24. But do give it a try. Get a sample if you can. Is green the new blue? Maybe. Maybe it is. I'm not really sure. It's green is kind of making a comeback. Green Lover is out. H24 by Hermes. And some of these green fragrances, Meander by Amouage is kind of green and becoming popular again. It's kind of going. And again, sorry about my internet. It just got my connection just actually booted me off, and I couldn't even log in. So, Mr. Niche Guy is a great story. Yeah, Mr. Niche Guy, he made his own company, and he's actually having a lot of success. He's actually, I think he's on Lucky Scent as well. He has a great thing going on. So Mr. Niche Guy, he's authentic. He's true to himself. And yeah, he was reviewing, I don't know for how many years. He was only able to get up to like 5,000 odd subscribers, but he went for his passion. He risked a lot of his own personal money, and he went for it, and he made his dreams come true. Shout out to him. Check out his content or his fragrances. Wine and Chocolate is one of his biggest top seller, or maybe his biggest top seller. You might want to check out that. Meander is personally for me, Meander and A Man and His Pipe are probably my favorites. But if you're first getting into his brand or his company, I probably would recommend you first try Meander, a very buttery resinous myrrh fragrance, very delectable, very nice. And what was the other one? It was called Osmanthus Toboggan. It's a little bit dry. It's a little bit airy. Has like a little bit of a cottony, dry feel to it. If you really tend to really dislike lavender feeling fragrances, don't bother with it. Go for something else. But if you tend to like things with lavender, or if you like the feeling of something cozy and feels like cotton, Osmanthus Toboggan is actually really nice. So Let's see here. O Intense Vetiver is probably my favorite. Yeah, O Intense Vetiver is a very rich, kind of almost like boozy, kind of a vetiver. Certainly is nice. It's a little bit linear, but it's nice and it's good for the price. Have you seen Mr. Cologne guy? He does reviews in English and Spanish. I want to say that I have, but I need to double check. I probably will kick myself for not immediately remembering, but I probably do. Anyways, it's been a little while and I'm tired. So, okay, everybody, I'm gonna go. I gotta go. I know that y'all have things to do, but there are a bunch of wonderful fragrance reviewers. I again, I don't know what's the most important for YouTube, but do try to comment on people's. Again, this isn't me begging for comments on my channel. This is us, as I guess, is if you're passionate about fragrance and you care about other people who are passionate, do try to support them, in the ways of YouTube, because that's what is ultimately going to, I guess some way that we can support them, some way that we can help people out, because I don't really know, besides us tagging each other and supporting each other, we got to figure out some kind of other, maybe there's some kind of other way. Maybe we can start a fragrance federation and and work together. I don't know. We got to do something. Anyways, thanks for the stream. Yeah, Micah, Christopher, thank you for popping in. Thank you for the friendship, everybody. Again, I really do appreciate you. Again, I do want to invite you to my Instagram. I produce an awful lot of content there. It's really fun. I do lives just about every morning. Real lives like this, I do them just about every morning, except on Sundays. So I'll start again on Monday. And again, I don't know if that's even a good thing to do on Instagram, but I've been doing it for a while. And I show y'all my, unboxings and the new fragrances I've been testing. And I kind of do a test run, or I kind of share a lot of things. Sometimes there before sometimes they even get to here to YouTube. So sometimes it really depends which one's going to get to you before the other, on YouTube or Instagram. But anyways, just stopped in to say hello. Well, Fragrance Journey, I'm actually popping out right now, but again, I appreciate your content too. You're a real one. You're legit. And Fragrance Journey, you got awesome things going on, and I wish the very best for all of y'all. Hope that you enjoyed the chat tonight. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Cook up some good food. Take it easy. Skype friends and family. Try to be social as much as you can. Get some sunshine on you. It's good for you if you can. Be safe and all that good stuff. But do get some sunshine on you, and just take it easy. And I'll see you soon, everybody. Hope that you're enjoying the fragrance life, and I'll see you soon. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Peace out and bye.